Okay, here it is at last, the Helios Tarot forecast for the month, or Tarot Horoscope drawn specifically for your astrological zodiac sign. I'm B.R. Newman, in case you didn't know that already. Check out my website, iamhelios.com, through the link below, and consider everything that I have to offer there. Consider signing up to receive any number of the personal readings that I offer, or consider signing up to take a course. The choice is yours. There's a lot to explore there. Also consider checking out Annie Botticelli's Storyteller forecasts to see the astrological side of everything you're going to see here. It's fascinating, I promise. So, okay, I guess we'll just jump right into it. And here it is, Gemini, your 5-card Helios spread for the month of December. This is a kind of condensed Golden Dawn spread. You might be aware of that already. That uses 15 cards. In this case, we have 5 to a similar effect. We have a central theme, 2-dimensional timeline options for you to choose from, a past section, and a fate section. So your central theme is the Ace of Discs. So this is the primordial essence of Earth, or in other words, all things relating to matters of a financial nature, resources, physical body, health, material, mundane circumstances, and so on. So this is a very simple way to start out. This tarot spread has to do with those matters, the foundation of your being, your security, your wealth, your health, your general physicality. So on either side of this, you have 2 different approaches you could take to increasing or optimizing the nature of your current situation regarding this central theme. On the one hand, you have the 5 of Wands. On the other hand, you have the 7 of Swords. So the 5 of Wands is kind of about needless drama, doing things that are rather unnecessary. Perhaps there's some element of like a kind of addiction to the drama. There's a familiarity there, even though it may be unpleasant. All 5s in tarot are associated with Gebura on the Tree of Life, and this has to do with, it's a kind of boundary setting mechanism. There's judgment involved with this. It's the foundation of stringency. So this is actually necessary, though unnecessary in its manifestation, a necessary mechanism in order to manifest the potentials outlined in Chesed, which is Sphirith number 4, which is a kind of benevolence, healing force that repairs the world. So this is the actualizing mechanism that allows that to come into form, and sometimes humility is necessary, sometimes priorities have to be reorganized, and so you see that happening here. And as manifest through fire, through wands in this case, this is drama, conflict for the sake of itself, perpetuated according to your readiness to move on, or lack of. So if you're tired of it, if you're ready to move on, consider the alternative dimension. It may seem, due to its almost endlessly perpetuating nature, that it's difficult to move on from, maybe impossible. Perhaps due to the fact that it has to do with such a slow-moving vibrational realm. The Ace of Discs, the material realm, is so slow-moving, it seems at times completely detached, removed from our desired manifestations, our mind, the evolution that occurs in the higher planes. It takes a while for that to trickle down to the physical realm and show some evidence of occurring. So for example, if this has to do with your a weight issue, hypothetically, if you needed to lose weight and you felt so ready, your mind was ready for it, but your body just never really shows the signs of catching up. It never falls off or stays off. There can be any number of ways this is manifesting. This is a general read applying to everyone who shares your sun sign, so that this really is up to you to decipher the relevant details, from this general mix. So yeah, it may be simply due to the fact that the central theme is, of course, defining the nature of the needless drama that would be manifesting along this dimensional timeline that you are perhaps so tired of. It's such a slow-moving plane. It seems immovable, but through the other dimensional timeline, you have the natural remedy. This 7 of Swords is the leap of faith, despite a sense of futility, despite feeling like it's hopeless. So all 7s in tarot are associated with Netzach on the Tree of Life, and this has to do with a kind of harsh kindness of God. It's endurance, it's patience, it's batting up against some obstacle that seems unable to be moved, so that you can build up enough momentum, enough pressure, enough incentive, enough motivation to actually blast beyond it. And then when you do so, obstacles of a similar magnitude will seem effortlessly transcended. That's the whole purpose of the obstacle. It's actually to strengthen you, to show you what you're made of, to show you what you're capable of achieving under pressure. So this leap of faith, despite futility, is really that simple. You do what you feel needs to be done, despite maybe the mental chatter saying that it's impossible, perhaps despite the societal or familial pressures saying that it's impossible. Well, this path is one upon which you simply do it anyway, and that's very likely immediately rewarded. Though immediate is relative here, especially when we're considering this central theme. It's such a slow-moving plane, as I talked about. Disks represent the plane of the material, and matter is energy condensed to the slowest vibration we can perceive. So thoughts, thinking, for example, is just a steady stream of transformation. Our minds sometimes flicker from thought to thought so fast we can barely keep track. Emotions can be similar. There's just a steady stream of transformation. But in the material plane, we have to go through, first a kind of disintegration, the whole process of entropy, and change comes much slower and at a seemingly greater cost. So it really tests our patience as largely psychological beings to work with these material matters. And so we see that in your fate section, a rather slow-moving 8 of Cups. All 8s in tarot are associated with Hod on the Tree of Life, which is action taken from acceptance and surrender. And as manifest through water, this is stagnation. Everything's just moving too slowly. Not enough progress, maybe too much drama, too much conflict, not enough positive change. And you're ready to make that change happen. And that's what this right-hand dimensional timeline, the 7 of Swords, is all about. So that's clearly the more appropriate dimensional timeline to take if you want to take full advantage of this 8 of Cups. You want to be able to move on. You don't want to get stuck. You don't want to get stagnant and unable to move. You need to be willing to take a leap of faith. You need to jump out of that mud and go on to whatever uncharted course you land on. So yeah, it's a big leap of faith. And this is all coming from the Queen of Wands, which is a personality profile. You may or may not be aware. All of these 16 court cards in tarot correspond perfectly, flawlessly with the 16 Myers-Briggs personality profile. And in this case, the Queen of Wands is the INTJ, or the Introverted Intuitive Thinking Judger. So this is someone who's very theory-based. They see the world as a kind of game or a chessboard, and their approach is entirely independent. They can easily run simulations in their mind to determine probable outcomes, and they engage with otherwise difficult situations with a kind of emotional detachment. They can view things rather objectively, and they always see what areas of life are in need of improvement, often finding that just about everywhere is in need of some kind of improvement. And due to this perhaps overly objective and perhaps judgmental nature, the Queen of Wands does not necessarily engage with dramatic situations. She doesn't pursue them. She attracts them. So she might find herself consistently surrounded by problematic situations. And therefore I would expect to see the 5 of Wands as a potential, revealing itself as the old way that no longer serves you. And it's time to move on, and this 7 of Swords is the way to do it. A leap of faith is called for, so go for it. And that about wraps this up, so thank you for listening to this. You might want to contact me for a personal reading of some kind. You can gain clarity, certainty, and confidence regarding a big decision, the nature of a personal relationship, family dynamics, general complications or opportunities, and so on. I can help you simplify extremely complex matters into something workable, something you can base otherwise difficult decisions upon, and something you can trust, so you can put your mind at ease and get back to living. And maybe you want to uncover the complexities of your inner circuitry, really getting to know the way you truly operate, so you can pick and choose the kinds of strategies, partners, and environments that help you thrive and feel good and think straight. If any of that sounds good, trust me, you're going to want to check out my website, IamHelios.com, and discover what I can offer you there today. Thanks again.